All right, here we go, yo. Let's see here. What do we got? A few things to talk about tonight, man. So let's get into it. Got about 5 or 6 of y'all already coming in here, so make sure y'all hit the like button. All right, here we go, yo. Turn down this sound a little bit. Okay, get that delay here. Okay. BJ, what's going on? BJ in the building. He said, and again, Joanna champion. He said the queen is back. We'll see. We'll see if the queen is back. We're going to talk about the situation with her coming up. And yeah, I actually did a short video. I need to, put that out. I got to put this short video out talking about Joanna and her upcoming fight. Yeah, BJ on it. He getting rid of the bots right there. Appreciate that. I'm about sick of these things, man. They come in every live now. I'm tired of that trash, man. Damn. But yeah, man, we back again. Let's go ahead and get into it. MJ, what's going on? Got a few things to talk about. There's always something to talk about in this world, man. WMMA. So, yeah, we got a few things here. Let's pull this screen up here, and let's see who else we got. We got two beasts in the building. All right. So yeah, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to another live. Few things to discuss here. First, I just want to do some, like y'all see in the title here, some local love, man, because we got some underground fights going down. Some solid matchups here, and I gotta show them love because that's where it starts, man. That's where that WMMA. It starts from the bottom, work their way up, man. That's where a lot of these fighters came from, right? So you got to go back and talk about these fighters too. So I want to do some local love, like I said here. Roger, what's going on? Let me pull this fight schedule up here. Yeah, so got a few fights here on the horizon on the underground here that y'all should know about, that we're going to talk about here in a minute. And then I just want to go back and talk about this Invicta FC card, Invicta FC 45. I don't hear too many people talking about it too much, just the same, usual, the hardcore fans, of course. But Invicta FC, man, like they really have to get on it. They have to get on it to find some way to, get people to tune into it. They need that platform like UFC Fight Pass. I ain't gonna lie. Invicta needs that platform. It seems like it's just been kind of going under the radar. You ain't getting as many cards anymore since they went to, they went to the Fight app and they tried to go to that, Access channel, Access TV. I be tuning in, but I don't think too many people know about that. So, they've been using the Facebook page as well. So I don't know, man. I don't know if that's really a good idea. I wish they could get back on UFC Fight Pass because everybody was pretty much on it then, So I want to, just go back and pull up the whole card and fill y'all in again because that's next week, right? That's next Wednesday. Yeah, Invicta FC's on a Wednesday too, so that doesn't help either. It's on a weekday, so you gotta. If y'all have a channel, BJ, if you have a channel, you gotta help push this Invicta card just so people know about it. But let me pull up some of this major stuff I want to talk about. All right. I ain't going to spend too much time on this, but, I already discussed it. But I want to know what y'all think here as well as I talk about it. Amanda Serrano and her call out of Shevchenko. Like, what do you make of that? So let's talk about that again. And these top 5 unsigned bantamweights. Shout out to Marcus Bell. He had asked me to, bring this up. Top 5 bantamweights that aren't signed by the UFC yet. So I said, all right, we can go down this list and see who needs to be signed. Who needs to be signed and whatever. And last, Marina and Joanna here. Like they don't have a fight lined up against each other, but I gotta know, man, is Joanna gonna sneak in and try to snatch that title shot? Because Joanna's talking about coming back right now, and it looks like she's lined up to try to fight Zhang Weili for #1 contender, she said, in this recent interview. So I got to know, man, like, is she going to pull a fast one and try to slide in there past Marina? That ain't going to be any good if that happens, though. Because you just can't continue to go off of the past here, right? So we'll see, right? But let me see here. Make sure y'all do this. Hit the like button. And we're going to get into this thing. 2B said they just need a different marketing plan. Big time. BP said Alexis Davidson and Stoyanenko just got done taping this. Alexis Davis all day. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a crazy fight, man. That's going to be crazy. 2B said Amanda's just having fun putting her name out there, trying to get more eyes on her. No issue with me at all. Okay. But yeah, we'll talk about that. We're gonna go back. But real quick here, man. Yeah, we got some like I said, some underground fights that y'all need to know about. Some of these fighters on the come up. Next next week. What day is January 14th? 14th would be Friday, right? Yeah. So next Friday is Dynasty Combat Sports. Got a fight coming up between Josette Cotton and Latoya Walker. As y'all know, I did an interview with both of these ladies when last year. Damn, time be flying. No, I think I did an interview with Josette Cotton like this year. No, not this year. Last year. And Latoya Walker, I talked to her like the year before last. Damn, time be flying by, man. I be losing track of time here, man. Yeah, they got this fight lined up for this card, a local card, Dynasty Combat Sports. This is Josette Cotton's first fight in like 3 years. It's her first fight in 3 years because I had talked to her a little while back, did an interview when she was supposed to come back against Kayla Harrison for a rematch, but that fight fell through. I can't remember what happened with that, but, Josette Cotton, she was willing to take on Kayla Harrison in a rematch, and that was going to be her return fight, but that didn't happen. So, she went on a little bit of a layoff again, did some boxing matches in between, and now she got a fight signed. With Latoya Walker. Latoya Walker, she's another one. She's another one that was out of the game for, I say, about 2 or 3 years. She was out for about 2 or 3 years. When I talked to her, she was making her return to Invicta. And she had fought Caitlin Young. That was her last fight. I got a chance to talk to her leading up to that fight. And, one of the reasons with her being out, y'all know she's a firefighter. Latoya Walker, that's her main career. So that keeps her busy. Keeps her in shape, which, it keeps her busy. So she was out of the game from like 2016 to 2020. Now she's been out for little over a year again. So she's gonna come back and put on a performance. Hopefully, we put on a solid performance. I know it's gonna be a bit explosive performance from both of these ladies. They both come to bang, so it's gonna be a good stand-up fight, I think. So definitely tune into that, man. Thing about Latoya Walker, I think she just kind of does this as a side thing now. It's not really, like I said, her main career. She's got a decent record. She's 5-2, but there's been a lot of layoffs in between. She's been fighting since, I want to say 2012 or something like that. She's been in the game for like almost 9 or 10 years, but it's just been hard to get fights because it's hard to work that business sometime. You have to find the right promoter, find who wants to sign you. Sometimes you're just like a fill-in fight here and there. So it's been kind of a rocky road, but she has a stable career. So, that's definitely what keeps her busy is her being a firefighter. So, shout out to Toya Walker. That's a job where she puts her life on the line every day, right? So let's see here. I'm going to be tuning into that. Like I said, that's next Friday. Y'all can see the picture right there. That's the only WMMA fight on the card. But if y'all just go up to Dynasty Combat Sports, y'all can type that in and check it out, see how you can watch it. I think it's like a pay-per-view. It's not like a major pay-per-view. You're not going to be paying like $70, $80, but you just have to pay to watch the link on the website. And I'll probably check that out, man. I got to check out fights. I don't care who it is, where it is. I'll be tuning into it. So let's see. Yeah, man, because I was looking forward to seeing Josette Cotton come back. When she called out Kayla Harrison and said she wanted to run it back, because if you go back and look at that fight, Kayla Harrison didn't really stop Josette Cotton. The referee just stepped in and she wasn't even taking any serious blows, So when I went back and looked at that, I was like, I don't know if that was really a legit stoppage for her. So we'll see how everything goes in this one. Should be a good fight. Like I said, both of these ladies are pretty tough. Like I said, Latoya Walker being a firefighter, definitely that type of training and those type of drills they do in firefighting, it makes you strong. It really builds these fighters' endurance up. So let's see. Expect a banger. Brian Williams, what's going on? Robot Chicken said he got Zhang Wei Li. Talking about this Joanna fight coming up. Nothing signed with that yet. All right, another fight that is coming up, and this is, let me pull up the date. Another fighter I did an interview with just a month ago. Brittany the Quiet Storm Cloudy has a fight coming up for LFA, January 21st. That's the next Friday. So January 14th, you got Josette Cotton and Latoya Walker. Then the week after, the next Friday, you have Brittany Cloudy coming back to LFA 122. And shout out to Brittany. She's been really trying to get back on the scene here and fight her way back up here. She's fought for Invicta, fought for LFA before. She's fought a couple of local fights as well. So, she's trying to get back into the mix. And, when I had talked to her, she had said that she was looking to try to sign a contract with LFA as soon as possible. And, yeah, she's making a return less than 2 months here, or about 2 months. Her last fight was back in November. So, yeah, she's got a quick turnaround here. So she's trying to stay active. As y'all know, she fights at bantamweight, so maybe if she goes in there, makes a big statement in 2 weeks, you might see her fight again in LFA, maybe in Invicta. And maybe in a year or two, you'll see her in the UFC. Because, they need it. The UFC needs bantamweights right now. So hopefully, she can continue to build up her momentum and just put it together because, the UFC bantamweight division, it is kind of drying out a little bit. Even though Pena did win the championship belt, they're still in need of contenders, man. Am I wrong? Am I right? That's true, right? So, yeah, that's another fight I'm looking forward to. Definitely. And then, of course, we're going to backtrack. We have the Invicta FC 45 card. Let's go back and pull that up. Who do we got on that card? Like I said, they have a lot of followers on their Instagram, but it doesn't seem like Invicta FC is really popping, though, man. Their promotion is still not. It's still not it still doesn't have them wheels turning yet. They still haven't found that groove yet on how to market these all women cards, man. It's either just a hit or miss. Starts off strong, for a few days, people will be like, oh, okay, that's where they went. That's where Invicta FC is. Then all of a sudden, nobody really knows about it. So next Wednesday, January 12th, you have Zapatella and Del Boni running it back for that atomweight belt. And this is pretty much a rematch to a fight I thought Del Boni won. Seriously, I thought Del Boney had won that fight. I thought she did enough to win. But she's getting that chance again. Well, Jessica Del Boney, she won the atomweight tournament last summer. She put that work in, beat everybody. Put Zappitella in that corner. Said, look, okay, I beat everybody else, so I'm the only fight that makes sense for you, right? So now we're getting it. Actually, I hear a lot of y'all talking about this fight. A lot of people want to see this. This fight really made a lot of people fans of Del Boney. Brian Williams, what's going on? He said that pic you posted of her is beast mode. Yeah, she was putting in that work, man. She's really been putting in work, even in training. Brittany Cloudy, that is. She's been putting in that work. So, yeah, I'm glad to see her coming back. Quick turnaround. So, yeah, let me see. So far on this Invicta FC card, we got 6 fights. I think that's going to be the final card. You got some familiar faces up here. And, oh, wow, wait a minute now. I thought Emily Whitmire was supposed to be on this card. Did she already did they already replace her? Dang, man. Y'all know who Emily Whitmire is. She was supposed to be on this card, I thought. Guess she got pulled. But let's see. You got 6 fights. You got a featherweight fight. Got a few bantamweight fights on here. And let's see. Yeah, you got another atomweight fight on this card as well. Yeah, man. I thought Emily Whitmire was going to be on this card, but I guess not. So let's see. You have Helen Peralta versus Elise Pone. Helen Peralta, y'all know her. She's a pretty solid fighter. Hard puncher. Definitely got some stone. Got some bricks in them knuckles, man. And who else do we have on this card? You got Tabitha Ann Watkins versus Katie Saul. Seen them fight before, several times for Invicta. Maria Jose Vafela versus Sarah Kleska. Then you got Courtney King. Y'all know Courtney King a little while back. Like, what was that November card, that November Invicta card? Kayla Harrison pretty much picked her instead of Chelsea Chandler. So you have Courtney King versus Ramona Pascal. Monica Franco versus Haley Cohen. Haley Cohen, she had fought in LFA once, and she had a fight with Brittany Cloudy in that. Man, in that fight, they robbed Brittany. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Brittany had beat Haley Cohen. That's one of those situations there. And then you have the main event, Alicia Zappitella and Jessica Del Boney. All right, so you got a lot of WMMA going on this year. Right away, first month, you got a lot of, underground fights here taking place. And hopefully with Bellator saying they're going to come back and be consistent for the next 3 or 4 months, you'll have some more fights. Because shout out to BJ. He was on his channel yesterday talking about that, and it was like, Bellator is just not, being consistent enough. They're not giving their flyweights and featherweights enough fights, right? So that was something he talked about on his channel, and something I brought up too as well last month. So hopefully, man, Bellator, they put it together like Scott Coker said, February, March, April, May. He's supposed to have all these cards, so hopefully they have a lot of the women fighting on there. Because, some of their cards over the past month, they didn't have any women fights. They didn't have any women fights. I was like, y'all don't have no slots for some of these flyweights. I think a lot of these young flyweights that are signed to Bellator, just being real, man, it's like when they go on those 1 to 2 year layoffs, they're kind of wasting away. I won't say wasting away, like they're wasting time, though. They're wasting time where they can grow as a fighter, man. Like when you compare it to the UFC's, cards and how fast they turn around for these, bring in these fights for these girls, how quick they turn around, it definitely puts them to shame, right? You got Casey O'Neill fighting 3 times last year, Manon fighting 3 times last year, Miranda Maverick fighting 3 times last year. And over here in Bellator, Juliana Velasquez, Denise Kielholtz, Bruna Ellen, Arteaga. Some of these fighters are going a whole year without fighting, or maybe fighting once, right? So hopefully they do pick it up. Hopefully they will start, trying to bring in at least 2 fights a year for their champion, right? Even like some of the top level fighters, like you need to have them stay active. Like Diana Aseragova, Valerie Laredo, like these girls are still like in their early stage of their career where they need to be fighting. They need to be fighting to really grow. Because I'm not gonna lie, if they were in the UFC, you would see. Hang on here, just fixing my connection. You would see them fighting 3 times a year. Like I can pretty much guarantee. Yeah, I could guarantee that Aseragova, she probably would have already fought 3 times, right? If she was in the UFC, or Valerie Laredo, they would probably been making her fight at least 3 times. You'd have that option. I mean, I understand though. It's like Bellator doesn't have the same fan base as the UFC. But man, like some of these cards where Bellator only has like all men, you got to squeeze in a couple women fights up there, But I wonder, man, if some of them are happy with that contract, just fighting once a year. What do y'all think? You think they're cool with that? I mean, if they are, they're just going to continue to fly under the radar, So let's see. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on in January. Open up the new year. Like I said, you got this Dynasty Combat Sports. Oh, yeah, you got another all-women's card, too. You got another all-women's card. Let's see. First, you got Dynasty Combat Sports. You got LFA. Got it. Invicta FC. Hold on one second. This organization just started following me, and I just started following them. Hold on here. Hold on. What is their name? Okay, here it is. Palace Athena WFC. If you go to their IG, it says PAWFC offers an all-women's competitive sporting event that showcases the world's best MMA fighters. So, yeah, they have an all-women's card coming up here through PAWFC on January 15th. So that's next Saturday. You got that coming up next Saturday. And that is like another streaming event. So if you go to PAWFC.com, you can tune in and watch this all women's card. So yeah, y'all need to pay attention to this stuff. I know y'all just like the mainstream fights, but this is where a lot of these fighters come from. Your favorite fighters came from LFA. They come from the lower organizations like these. Yeah, Sarah Kaufman's headlining this card. So yeah, BJ, I know you checked. Well, yeah, BJ, you big fan of Sarah Kaufman? I can't remember if you said that. So yeah, Sarah Kaufman is fighting for a bantamweight title for PAWFC on January 15th. That's an all-women's card. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fights on this card. So come on now. If y'all are WMMA fans, y'all got to check this card out. Gave y'all the information. Just go to PAWFC.com and you can check it out. See, look, you already got Chris Cyborg commenting on this on this page, on this ad. You got a lot of the WMMA fighters that are checking this out. And you got to check some of these organizations out, like I said, because that's where a lot of these fighters, they have to go back to the drawing board. Your favorite fighters, whenever they go on losing streaks and they get cut from the UFC, if you can't find them, this is where they be. This is where Liana Jojo might have to go. You got Felicia Spencer commentating. She's going to be a commentator for this card coming up next Saturday. Who else is on here? A lot of new faces. There's a lot of new faces on this card. Let me see. Yeah, just a lot of new faces on here, except for Sarah Kaufman. She's like the main known fighter here. But yeah, like I said, I'll definitely tune in. Young Mar, what's going on? He said, don't delete the next Russian comment. I want to translate it. I translated that comment from, I think these are Russian females who like MMA. Man, get out of here. You know, there ain't no Russian female. 16 to 20 of them like that, man. You know it ain't, man. I'm deleting it. Don't listen to him. Next one come in, it's getting deleted. You know it ain't no Russian female. Get out of here, man. You know they some bots. You know they bots, man. I ain't trying to translate or click on that mess. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on in January. Good fights coming up. And then of course, you know, you have the Arujo fight, Alexa Grasso fight. I still don't have a pick for that one. Still don't have a pick. All right, so what are we going to talk about now? Let's see. Yeah, like I said the other day when I did a video talking about Amanda Serrano and Valentina Shevchenko, I think we pretty much know that fight is not going to happen. Even with Amanda Serrano calling her out and, you know, trying to sweeten the deal, to say, oh, you know, if you give Jake Paul what he wants, you can even throw me in there, Valentina Shevchenko. You know, when she says something like that, she makes it sound like, oh, that's really going to build up the card. But in all reality, like, not many MMA fans or even WMMA fans really know who Amanda Serrano is, right? You know, I'm familiar with her because I know boxing. You know, I follow boxing. So I know who she is. But if you go up to the regular casual fan of the UFC and you say Valentina is going to be fighting Amanda Serrano, they really won't know, right? They really won't know who that is. So when she came with that offer, I was already kind of thinking to myself, that's not really going to sweeten the deal, Amanda. You know, that's going to just make people say, okay, who is this? I mean, why are we going to get this fight when we have Taylor Santos, you know, lined up and ready to go against Valentina Shevchenko? You know, or we got a lot of fighters in the flyweight division right now, you know, that are closer to a title shot than Amanda Serrano. And I just say closer because, you know, they are much more well-rounded fighters than Amanda Serrano. You know, Amanda's still in the very early stages of her career. You know, Amanda Serrano's in the very early stages of her MMA career. And if you heard me talk about her before, I've already said that she's taking the right approach to grow as a fighter. And eventually she could be a champion, even if by the time she gets there, if Valentina's gone, fine. You know, she could sign to Bellator, you know, to the UFC maybe a few years down the road, but that's not really a target that she needs like right now, especially when you're only 2-0 with one draw. I don't think that, you know, that's something really need to entertain. But I brought it up because it's not the fighters that are going to really entertain that. Like, you know, Valentina's not going to take that fight. And when it really comes down to it, there's a team behind Amanda Serrano, and they know she's not ready for a Valentina fight. Because, I mean, if she was ready for Valentina, then Clarissa was ready for Amanda Nunes, right? Same situation. The way we say Clarissa would get smoked by Amanda Nunes in a MMA bout, the same would happen in his one. The same would happen in this one. So it's not necessarily the fighters here. It's the fans. You know what I mean? Like, I have to talk to the fans because the fans come on here. The fans come on these streams. And you got a lot of boxing fans and even WMMA fans that commented on her Twitter, on the comment, that actually feel like she has a chance. Right? You know, they actually feel like she has a chance. Like, some people are saying, oh, yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You know, oh, yeah, I'm waiting to see that fight. They need to sign it. UFC needs to sign it. Now, some people will hit it with reality and say, oh, no. Or they'll just say straight up RIP. You know what I mean? So they'll be real with it. But That's who I was addressing in that video. I was addressing like the fans in this situation, because we know she is in no way ready for a fight with Shevchenko. And when you got a UFC flyweight division that we all look at and we don't really have faith in anybody beating Valentina Shevchenko right now, there's no way that Amanda's even near their level, right? Because we got girls with skills now. We got all these girls with skill now in that division, and we're not even saying, oh yeah, this girl here, yeah, that's the girl to knock out Valentina, or that's the girl to dominate Valentina. No, we ain't saying that about none of them. So what makes you think Amanda's gonna be that one, right? You know, what makes you think Amanda Serrano's gonna be that one? TJ said Valentina is fighting Amanda again. Wait, who is Amanda Serrano? I see what you're doing there. Right? He said Amanda Serrano with his own spelling. That's what the casual fan says. You know, they're like, who is Amanda Serrano? Like, is she really that good? Like, in the world of mixed martial arts? No. You know, Amanda's got bigger problems right now. You know, one major problem. And his name is Katie Taylor. That's the one fight that everybody wants to see right now. Like, if you do know boxing, you know that Katie Taylor is the one and Amanda Serrano is the other one, you know, in the pound for pound of women's boxing. I mean, there's not a really vast pound for pound list, or, you know, big or a wide range of talent in the world of women's boxing, right? But they are the best of the best. They are the best of the best. So when it comes to boxing, that's what she really needs to be doing. And I thought that's why she signed with Jake Paul, not to kind of, you know, entertain the MMA world and try to cross over to these high levels like that. Liz said Serrano, not Serrano. He knows. He's joking. He's doing a little joke right there. He's doing a joke. That's all. He's proven that not many people know her, right? As far as the MMA world. So yeah, her thing right now should be to just entertain the world of boxing. Signing with Jake Paul is to get you the money you feel you deserve and get to that level of getting $1 million payday against Katie Taylor. James G, what's going on? He said Serrano should join Bellator if she's serious. I don't even think she's ready for Bellator. I don't even think she's ready for that level. At 2-0 with one draw, and she still fights like a boxer. Like, she's still not even like a full-fledged striker, you know, that throws kicks and, you know, fights Muay Thai. You know what I mean? Like, she's still looking like a boxer that's transitioning. So I don't even recommend Bellator. I really wouldn't even recommend. Well, I would recommend Invicta now. Yeah, because you have a lot of girls that come in 0-0 in Invicta. I recommend Invicta right now. Invicta FC and later like a LFA fight or two. But I would never recommend Bellator yet, because I think even Valerie Laredo, like, I think that would be competitive. Serragova could be a fight that I could see Serrano win. But then when she gets in there with girls like Vanessa Porto, it's pretty much going to be a wrap for right now. You know, Vanessa Porto is low on the Bellator list, but she's still a great talent. She's like got a pound for pound resume. You know, so there's still a lot of work that needs to be done for Amanda Serrano. You know, she's pretty much side by side with Clarissa Shields, right? You know, they're still on that same level. But they really do need to just continue to push for the Katie Taylor fight. Hold on. What were you saying, Young Mar, about this thing? He said delete it after 10 seconds. Let me do it. You don't got to do that if it is a bot. I want to see what it is saying. I'm curious. What are you so curious about, man? You better get it now, because I'm about to delete it. Those things pop up every couple of streams. I want to know what they saying. They're basically just like ads, man. I mean, if you wanna like copy it, I mean, it ain't nothing said right there. I mean, copy that. You could type that in yourself and translate that. You see that bot? Do you really want to copy that? Because it's gone, man. You see them letters right there? Don't take 10 seconds to spell that out. Got to go. It wasn't even a Russian one, or it wasn't even a Russian one. That was just American. So leave that alone. Okay. So all right, got rid of that one. Okay, got like 20 people in here. Make sure y'all hit the like button while we sitting there talking. Okay. Yeah, put them wrenches to use, doggone it. Y'all act like y'all can't see that. Okay. So, yeah, Amanda Serrano, you signed with the right promoter to get you what you feel like you needed, which is that money, that recognition in boxing. So in the big fight, Katie Taylor's $1 million fight. Like, that's a fight that we know 100% can happen if everybody's on board, because it's boxing. It's champion versus champion. So just continue to push for that. Don't try to sidetrack and go on the freak show, on the circus show with Jake Paul. Don't even mess with that. And I don't think fans should even think that's ever going to be possible, right? So yeah, that was pretty much all I had on that one. Like, as far as my thoughts on it, because somebody asked me about it, and it was like, does she have a chance? And then when I went back to see Twitter and people talking, it was like, there's people actually think she does have a chance. So I was like, no, not at all. Not at all. Jake Paul, he started to bring that, he bring that circus out of these people, that circus act out of these people. But I don't even know if she really, believed in that tweet. Maybe he told her to do it. Maybe he did. Let's see. Young Mar said, is PAWFC legit? Yes, it is. Like, do you mean legit as in good, or just legit as in on the line? Because yeah, it is. I mean, you got some up and coming fighters on there, so yes, it's legit. So yeah, I recommend checking it out. This what day did I say? Next week, yeah. So yeah, it's something to check out. Yeah, it's legit. Let's see. Okay, what are y'all talking about here in the comment section? 2B says she's getting people to talk about her. It's not that serious. Well, like I said, the fans, 2Bs, I hope people are listening to me when I'm saying this, but I'm not addressing her when it comes to her call out. I'm addressing the fans that actually feels like she has a chance, right? I know you love Amanda Serrano, 2Bs, but look, I'm a big fan of her too, but I'm going to spit the real, okay? I'm going to spit the real, bro. When it comes to these fighters and putting names in your mouth that you don't need to be doing, I am going to break it down to you, whether it's the fans or the actual fighter. I mean, I'm not one to just say, oh, because I'm a fan, I'm going to be blind to it. No. Yeah, Young Mar. So yeah, it's not serious like the fight is signed, but it is to a certain extent when you think that you could actually have a chance, right? If you don't really understand like the whole process of growing as an MMA fighter and think you can get to a certain extent, or only train to a certain extent and get to a certain level in this amount of years, then yeah, it is serious. Like, if people tell Clarissa Shields that she could be ready for Amanda Nunes in 2 years, that's serious. You know, I take that seriously, you know, because I take the sport seriously. That's why when people come over and just, you know, talk about any kind of way, I'm like, oh, now, hold up. We got to talk, right? Some things you just got to address. That's how I feel. Yeah. But, yeah, she's getting people to talk about her, like you say, but need to keep it in the boxing world. Keep it in the boxing world. Keep it in the boxing world. If you're going to talk about MMA, it should just be the lower level. Like, I don't mind so much when, like I said, I don't mind so much when a fighter like Erin Blanchfield or Miranda, they say they want to fight the champion eventually. You know, that's the type of talk that needs to be said. Like, when I get to that point, they're like, when I improve as a fighter, I'm going to fight her eventually. You know, that makes more sense because they're in the same division. But a fighter that's not even on that level, like, why? Why, right? Be just Clarissa Shields. Yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the same situation. It's the same thing. Right? But what else we got? Like I said, that's pretty much my thoughts on that. But shout out to Marcus Bell. Marcus Bell wanted me to bring this up, and I don't even see him in the stream today, but I'm going to talk about it now because I just wanted to kind of go through this list. He asked me to bring this up here off of combatpress.com, their website here. Let's see. 5 women bantamweight prospects the UFC should sign in 2022. Okay? I give him a little bit of time. He don't come up in here. We right here, Marcus. So 5 women bantamweight prospects the UFC should sign in 2022. He has sent this to me, and yeah, I'm familiar with the majority. Well, yeah, like 4 of these ladies on this card. There's one that you know I'm really familiar with on these on this list here. Let's see, 5 bantamweights. Dang, they really going out to Eastern Europe for these bantamweights that need to be signed to the UFC, huh? Okay. So these are some bantamweights that are in the making. You know, they're in the process of growing. And it's, you know, it's kind of like our list on the come up when we say, okay, so-and-so needs to get signed to the UFC ASAP. You know, it's basically one of those lists. You know, this is a list of some of these fighters. You know, like I said, I've seen fight in some of these lower organizations, some amateur fighters, and they're looking like the best of the best, honestly. You know, most of these girls are undefeated. Some have 1 loss, but don't need to have 1 loss. You know, these are some girls that I think really can put some life into the UFC bantamweight division. Maybe after a few more fights for some of them, but they do. If you go back and look at some of these girls on YouTube, I'll probably type their names into the comment section just so you can look them up. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, man, these girls, they can wake this division up. You know, they can wake this thing up. Let's see. All right, here we go. Here's the list. All right, so 5 women bantamweight prospects the UFC should sign in 2022. First up, they have Teresa Beleda. I got a picture of her. Y'all see her right next to Tanisha Tennant. I think some of y'all seen her, right? I follow her on Instagram, and I've seen some of her highlights. You know, she brings some action. She's from the Czech Republic. She's 5-0 right now. Let's see what they said. They said Teresa Beleda is one of the best bantamweights outside of the UFC. This has been seen both in her pro and her exhibition career. She's looked outstanding in her amateur and pro career. She's earned her fair share of finishes. She's well-rounded, does not mind fighting on the feet or on the mat. Let's see. Yeah, I seen that fight. She has a win over Lucy Pudilova. She's fought most of these Eastern European fighters. And there's some fights that they said don't count on her resume, but, they still count towards building her up as a fighter. They say Bleda is UFC ready right now. Her nickname is Rhonda, which will be a tall order to live up to, but there's no doubt she can make a dent in the UFC's bantamweight roster from the minute she steps into the octagon. Yeah, she's a strong one. She's definitely a beast when she pushes in there, but I definitely wouldn't say she's like a Ronda yet. She is 5-0, but there was a few fights that I seen of Bleda, and I really feel like there's still some holes in her game right now. Like even that Lucy Pudilova fight. Lucy Pudilova continued to lock up the guillotine on her and try for so many guillotine attempts. It just was that she wasn't smooth with her transition to it and to really lock it in on Bleda. But there's still a few holes in there because even the striking, I thought Lucy Pudilova was, landing some good shots on Bleda. So I think right now, maybe after a few more fights, she'll probably be ready. I think she just needs to polish some things up. They said she's well-rounded. She definitely got some skills on the ground though. Like she is strong and she likes to fight on the ground. I just think her hand game needs to be improved just a little bit. Like nobody's really gonna become like a technician overnight. But with the way the UFC is going right now, with their bantamweight division, they could do to sign her, I'll say next year. Ain't no need to rush her because you see what happened when they rushed Liana Jojua, right? They rushed a fighter like Liana Jojua. They wind up having to cut her after 4 fights. She goes 1-3. See, this girl here right now is 5-0. Majority of her fights she's fought in the Octagon organization. OKTAGON. She's fought most of her fights there. So there's really no need to go ahead and throw her into the UFC. Don't do that Liana Jojua thing where they just skip her from the regional without fighting in LFA or Invicta or something like that. So they say she's UFC ready, but I would say go to Invicta's bantamweight division this year. And if she looks good, then maybe like a contenders thing with her, like contender series thing. Let's see. She does have a good record though, like her undefeated record. So, but again, that's the competition on the lower level. Like if you look at her exhibition career, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 6. She's got like 9 wins. She's undefeated on the amateurs, 9-0 and 5-0. And even the exhibition fights were against professional fighters. They were just counting these as amateur fights because they were exhibition. She fought Lucy Pudilova, former UFC fighter. So that is still count. To me, it does count as a professional fight because that was just back in 2020, right? So let's see. You got her. They're really staying out in the Ukraine and the Czech Republic and Russia here. You got, who's this? Katerina Shakalova. Not Shakalova, not the girl that lost to Lauren Murphy. This is another fighter. She's 6-1. Let me see. They said she took out a UFC veteran, Isabella Badaruk. She hasn't really fared that well in the UFC. So, that is a fight on her resume. She has a fighter that was in the UFC, but not like the best fighter. She's still young, 24. She's a wrestler, strong wrestler. So we'll see. She's a good grappler as well. She's another one that I think doesn't need to be signed yet. Just going off of the competition level. Let me pull up her resume here real quick. I might even play some highlights here. Let's see, Shakalova, world-class wrestler. She's another young one. She's like 24, 5'2". They got her listed at 5'2", so she's kind of she's gonna be one of the shorter bantamweights. 5'2", that's kind of short for a bantamweight. Oh snap! Hold on, what is wrong with these sites? They always be bringing up clickbait and crap. All right, here we go. Yeah, she lost one fight early in her career, and like I said, she's been fighting a lot of fights overseas. So a lot of these girls, yeah, when they have that pretty record, overseas, they still have to come. They still have to come in here to the U.S. and put in that work, though, man. You know what I mean? They still have to come in and fight those right fights. Like, you just can't go straight to the UFC. So I think there's still room for these girls to like grow this year, and they could look really good. Then they go to that like contender series or straight to the UFC by like 2023. And okay, of course this one, Tanisha Tennant, definitely got to get her there. I stand by that argument here because she's fought. I think she's 4-1. Of course, Tanisha Tennant's on this list. 4-1. She's really 5-1 to me. Or excuse me, 5-0. Tanisha Tennant's 5-0. She's a fighter that's faced different looks. Her being here in the U.S., you face different looks. Different well-rounded fighters, and I think she showcased the skills that she can fight a big fighter, make adjustments. She can work in a clinch. She can work her stand up, and she could outbox a boxer. That's and Danielle Wolf, somebody was considered to be, this big threat coming in, but it was nothing to Tanisha. She took that task of moving up to 145 and tried. So Tanisha here, to me, I definitely feel like she could be signed this year because she's got the resume. She's got the accolades to back it up, right? She's got she won the Invicta FC Phoenix tournament. She won the contender series, in my opinion, right? And then she won the Invicta FC bantamweight belt last year. She's a champion. She's a champion right now. So I think she's one that could, maybe fight one more fight in Invicta if she wants, but I think she's one that they could sign right now. Let me check this connection here. Something is wrong with this tonight. This Wi-Fi be acting up. Hold on. Hang on 1 second, y'all. Might have to switch to my hotspot for a while. All right. Let me see. Okay, let me know if you can still hear me. Sometimes, well, they ain't done this in a while, but I'm just trying to see here what's the deal with this thing. Keep getting a little circle. OBS is crazy, though. Okay, yeah, I think it's good. I don't know. It was just OBS does that sometime. All right. Okay, so yeah, Tanisha I think is one that could be signed. I'm not gonna lie, I think she's one that could be signed now. Who else did you have on this list? Another Russian fighter, Daria Zeleznikova. Daria Zeleznikova. That's the last one on the list here. And then you have Lucia Zabova, Czech Republic. So these are there's some very good up and coming fighters. Zabova, she's got that Muay Thai background, also got a kickboxing background. You got a nice little crop of bantamweights on the come up. So the UFC, they need to start. They need to really start hammering down and eyeing this talent, because the way they're paying attention to the flyweight division, the bantamweight division, it really needs this amount of girls. Because you already got like over 20. You got like 20 unranked flyweights at the moment. You got your 15 ranked flyweights, then you have like over 20 something that aren't ranked. So I think they're good. Flyweight has enough girls right now. But the bantamweight division, I think they're really in need of the signing of some of these girls. So if they want to do it, like if they did reach out to some of these ladies here and they went on and signed them by the end of the year, that'd be cool. Because I think, they would definitely liven it up. They would definitely liven the division up. I mean, let me put some of these girls' names in the comment section here so y'all can check them out. Hang on. Let's see. I mean, y'all know who Tanisha Tennant is, but some of these fighters have them tricky names. So if you want to check out these ladies' highlights, I'm going to put them here in the comment section. Hold on one second. Okay. Boom, here we go. And this fighter here. All right. Yeah, these are some of the bantamweights right here. And of course, like I said, you got Tanisha. All right. There we go. Yeah, these ladies right here. That's the top 5 they're saying that should be signed. So I'm going to go back and do a little bit more research on them. Now, I'm going to go back and do a little bit more research on these fighters. And I'm going to make my own judgment and say, are they ready? Are they ready or not? We'll see. But let me go back here to the comment section. Hold on. James G said, who is Julia Stoyarenko fighting? She's fighting Alexis Davis, right? Yeah. Ulysses said Blanchfield in the future. Yeah, she is the future. Straya said, where's BJ and TJ at? Out back throwing down. Yeah, they came through at different times. Either that, they trying to avoid confrontation. Robot Chicken said, I don't remember about losing to that opponent. James G talking about. Oh. Ulysses said Santos is quiet. I think she should talk more. Yeah, you have to talk more. I mean, nobody's saying you got to talk crazy, but you got to talk. You have to talk. Let's see. Robot Chicken said Aldana could beat Pena too. She could. I mean, she could very well do that. I mean, we're still not 100% sure to say Pena is this next dominant champion. I mean, we know she had Nunes's number, but we still got to see it one more time. But we got to see that one more time. And then we got to see what else she can do as far as, beating Holly Holm, how she deals with that style. Even, a fighter like Ketlin Vieira, kind of find it interesting, that type of matchup for her. So, Pena, she's on the right track, though. She's definitely on the right track. So, let's see, Robot Chicken said, yeah, Holm got the style to beat Pena. I'm thinking the same thing, too. Yeah, like, that type of footwork kind of favors Holly Holm. Like, if you're flat-footed and you're leaning forward, that's a good style for Holly Holm. Somebody that's not going to really play the counterpuncher and the fighter that has great timing like Valentina did, or the fighter going to take you down by surprise like Valentina did. That's something she doesn't have to worry about. Right? So, yeah, gotta happen, though. Gotta happen. Want to see a few more Pena fights, and then we'll say, yo, she's dominant. She's that one. But she definitely all to the right start. Well, yeah, Stray over here trying to pull you out of wherever you were, BJ. He trying to get you to start here. So, but yeah, man, yeah, them top 5 bantamweights that are not signed to the UFC. I'm going to go back and do a little more research on these fighters. Like I said, Marcus Bell just wanted me to bring that up and talk about it a little bit. But I'll probably have to watch all of them fight, like side by side, like one night. And then really come with some notes on it, because if they are all 4 just bringing it, all 5 just bringing it, I got to be like, yo, UFC, y'all are slacking here. Y'all need to work on this bantamweight division. I mean, bantamweight division is definitely in need more so than the flyweight division. I mean, am I lying? They're in need of it right now. Right? All right, y'all. So let's move on here. What else do we want to talk about? Okay, yeah. Last thing here. That last thing. So, all right. So Joanna did a recent interview here. Shout out to WMMA rankings too, man. WMMA rankings have been putting up a lot of good information here. They've been putting up a lot of info. Follow them on IG and Facebook. I mean, how many of y'all do check it out? Like, WMMA rankings has some good info here, from a lot of fighters. UFC, Invicta, Bellator, and so on. So I was checking out this interview here, Joanna, and Joanna is ready to come. She's ready to come back now. Joanna's seen the light. Joanna seen that light hit her in the face. She said, I don't think I'll be able to get a title shot as soon as possible. Dana White even went to the extent of saying, if you sit out until November or December, I'll give you a title shot. But even she said, oh, no, that's too long. Even she said that was too long. So now Joanna wants to come back as early as she can, and she wants to take on Zhang Weili, right? And I kind of find it funny, like that she waited as soon as Marina and Yan Xiaonan was lined up to fight, and Mackenzie and Tisha lined up to fight. Not saying Mackenzie's like a big threat to Joanna, which I don't think she is, but those were fights that she didn't really want to entertain, right? Like, she didn't want to entertain the fight with Marina at all. She said everybody was just trying to eat off her name. So when Marina was still free, Joanna didn't really want to entertain a fight. She didn't really want to entertain coming back yet. It was like, I'll be back in March or sometime or whenever. That's what she said. But now that Marina's lined up to fight Yan Xiaonan, Joanna's like, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to take on a non-title fight. And can't be Carla, so she wants to revisit a fight that was very close and a fight that a lot of people think she won. A lot of people thought JJ won that fight. Like, what do y'all think in the comment section? Who won the first fight to y'all? Joanna or Zhang Weili? Who won that fight? I still think Zhang Weili won it. I broke it down. I thought she won. Yeah, let me know in the comment section, because she's ready to revisit that fight. Now she's coming out because she wants that fight, because she knows that everybody else has already got a dance partner, right? Marina's got her fight. Again, like I said, even Mackenzie Dern to a certain extent. She doesn't want, it's not that she's worried about Mackenzie Dern more so. I think Mackenzie Dern is just a fight that she didn't want to fight just because she didn't want people eating off her name. But when it comes to Marina, I think she was really feeling like Marina Rodriguez was a threat. I do think so, So they're tied up now, so now she can call out Zhang Weili. Let's revisit the past. Here. And I'm not going to lie, that's a good fight. I mean, it's good. It's definitely a good action-packed fight. We saw what the first fight brought. We know they're going to bring it again. But what I want to talk about here is this fight going to be good enough that she can really slide past Marina Rodriguez? Is she going to be able to slide past Marina Rodriguez and steal that title shot? Like, This fight that's coming up, Marina and Jedrzejczyk, to me, should be a title eliminator. In my opinion, I think it should. But then you have a fight with Zhang Weili and Joanna on this side, where they're thinking that this fight's going to be a title eliminator as well. Like, can that be? Can that really be? Like, is that fair? Before I answer that question, all right, let me see what y'all think here. Hold on. All right, let's see. So James G said he had 1, 2, and 5 for Weili. Did I score it that way? I think that's how I scored it. Yeah, I had 1, 2, 5 for Weili, I think. Because 3 and 4 was like Joanna at her best. She was like picking Zhang Weili apart in those inner rounds. Southpaw stance, just like beating Zhang Weili to the punch. All right, so let's see. James G said Weili. BJ said Joanna. Okay. Ulysses said, at the moment, I thought JJ won. Stray said he think Joanna won. Or no, he says she was just talking smack. Okay. MJ said Zhang Weili won that fight. Joanna first fight against JJ and the second fight against Rose. Robot Chicken says Zhang Weili won. Young Mars said I had Weili, but it couldn't be closer. Brian Williams said it was close, could have gone either way. That swollen head did it though. Yeah. Let's see. So I think a lot of people feel like Zhang Weili won. Straya said she won for sure. He said for sure though. Like, I'm not even on for sure. See, did you call Joanna helmet head? Weili had more visible damage. Oh no. Who said she had more visible damage? Let me see. Mark Robinson, what's going on? He said, I think JJ won that fight. If it wasn't for the head swelling, I think Joanna would have gotten a better nod from the judges. Good point. Yeah, good point. Because I think people, when judges see the damage done, they're going to think significant strikes, right? That's pretty much the logic behind it. Like, if the judges see your head is on swole and your head is the size of, 2 footballs, they're going to be like, oh, well, Zhang Weili is landing significant punches. They're going to say every right hand that she's landing to the forehead is really significant. So they're looking at significant as far as, landing clean and square. And then when somebody's head is starting to inflate like that, they almost feel like there's no reason they should they can't think of a reason not to give Zhang Weili a round. Especially when you got down to the later part of the fight. They're like, oh man, like Zhang Weili is really putting it on her big head, So that's how it goes, man. Like I said, I thought Zhang Weili won the fight. But when I watched it again, I had it a draw. And then I had Zhang Weili win. Then I think I had Joanna win in one time. Because I watched the fight a lot. It's a good fight. I think when it all comes down to it, though, we all had a good fight. We really can't just complain about, oh, she won, she lost. My favorite fighter didn't win. When it all comes down to it, it's all good, man. It was a good fight. James G said, if it's 3 rounds, Weili takes it all. If it's 5, it's a toss-up again. That's a good point. Yeah, because it's definitely going to change the tone. It's definitely going to change the tone of the fight. I honestly think that... Ulysses said, did y'all hear the bad news? Have y'all heard the bad news? What's the bad news, man? Go ahead and drop the bad news, Ulysses. I ain't heard it. I'm sure we can take it at this point. What's the bad news? Is somebody out for a year? Did somebody get cut? Go ahead and break the bad news. Before I keep going, let me hear the bad news. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh, man. Come on. Oh, man. Oh, God. Come on. Vivian Araujo is out of the fight with Alexa Grasso. Dang, man. Come on. What was the issue? Visa issues? C-19 issues? Oh, boy. Let's go ahead and pull it up. We got to have breaking news come in. Hold on. What's the issue? Oh, boy. We got to do breaking news now. Dang, man. Dang, man. The one fight I was really looking forward to this month, and it's gone. Oh, man. Where do we find this info at anyways? Okay, where do we find this? Where do we find this? Where do we find this bad crap news? Oh, God, man. This sucks. All right. All right, we just messed up the rhythm here now. Oh, man. You don't know why she pulled out yet. Okay. So Vivian Araujo for sure is the one that pulled out of the Grasso fight. Oh, boy. Come on. Well, Andrea Lee. Let's do it. Let's book Andrea Lee. Hang on, y'all. I'm trying to find out. Dang it, man. How you kick the new year off already canceling a fight? I mean, I hope it's nothing wrong, like sickness or anything. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. I was just talking about WMMA rankings. They're on it again. So it's not on their IG, right? I was trying to see if there's IG. Oh, yeah, there it is. Hour ago off on their IG. I got it. Okay, so here we go, y'all. UFC seeking replacement to fight Alexa Grasso at UFC 270 on January 22nd after Vivian Araujo pulls out. Andrea Lee, answer that call. Let's go ahead and keep the momentum going here. Let's keep that momentum going. Yeah, I got their site pulled up. I guess I just didn't refresh it. Oh, goodness, man. Come on. Oh, boy. Why did she pull out? Yeah, no info yet. Oh, man. All right, that's bad news. That's the worst news you could have gave, man. Dang, that's the worst news you could give, man. Like, I was hoping you was gonna say somebody like, had to pull out on a lower level. Like, I was hoping you say something like Kay Hansen had to pull out a fight. You know what I mean? Like Kay Hansen had to pull out. I mean, come on, like that'd have been at least a lower level fight. Maybe something was wrong. They had to cancel that fight. But dog, man, you had to say Grasso, Vivian Araujo. Man. Jeez. Oh, man. All right, let me get a drink here real quick. Get my mind back. Let me get my mind back in this thing. Oh, man. After I talk about this, anybody want a link to try to, blow off some steam here on that, BJ? If you want a link, BJ, let me know. Or TJ, anybody, because I need to know everybody's thoughts. Let me know I'm not the only one crying right now. Inside. I'm I'm the only one pouting. Am I the only one pouting inside right now? Damn, man. Oh, boy. All right. Where were we? I can't even remember now. MJ said WMMA is unpredictable. The same happened in 2021. They pulled out of the fights last minute. Oh, yeah. I know. But, yeah, I should be used to it, right? But I'm not, because this was a fight I wanted to see. I really wanted to see this fight. Out of all the fights this month, I really wanted to see this one. Like, out of all the flyweight fights, I wanted this fight. I didn't really care about Caitlin Chikay and Jennifer Maya running it back. I was going to watch that, but I don't care. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen. But this one, I really wanted to see it. Wildest moment said I just saw a post from a Brazilian source. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I just saw WMMA rankings, but did the Brazilian source, Wildest Moments, did the Brazilian source say why? Since they're kind of closer to it, did they say why? Robot Chicken said, I'd rather someone pull out of the Maya Chikay fight. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, I ain't trying to be mean, but yeah, I knew it was going to be a cancellation, but, oh, man. It was an injury. Okay. Thank you. Okay, it was an injury, y'all. It was an injury. I'm gonna look at that. That on Twitter. I'll look at it later because I'll do a video on it anyways. After I wipe my tears away. Stray said, who replaces Arujo Lee? Blanchfield, Gatto maybe. I would say Lee. You know, I would probably put Andrea Lee. You know what? I never know, because Blanchfield might see this as the moment, because Grasso's number 11 right now. And that could be doable. I keep thinking she's number 10, but yeah, Grasso's 11 right now. That could happen. Like, if this is last minute, and if Blanchfield is like fully recovered and rested, she could very well take this fight. Not saying she would win it, but they need somebody right now to fill that spot. The UFC is saying it. They're saying that, hey, we need somebody to fill it in. So it could be her, but I think the more logical fight would be probably Andrea Lee, since Andrea Lee says she's not really going for a title yet. But yeah, if Blanchfield stepped up, BJ, that would be crazy. James G said, man, the Lamos at 125. But to me, yeah, Andrea Lee would probably be the more logical one. BJ said Montana or Robertson. Uh-oh. Yeah, that would be interesting on the inside there, but I don't know. I think Grasso would have enough skill to handle Jillian in this type of fight, but Montana, I think, would have more of a strength advantage in that fight, and it would be dangerous on the ground. I think actually Montana with Alexa Grasso's style would be more dangerous than Jillian. That's just my opinion. If it goes to the ground, we know. But stand up. All right, BJ said Jillian's trying to get it now. He just hit her up. Okay. So Jillian Robertson's trying to get the fight. She's trying to get it. Ryan Williams said this could not be a good fight for Lee. It's a fighting way down or really short notice. No upside for her. Yeah, but she doesn't want to go for the title at this point. Like, with everybody else tied up, what else is Andrea Lee going to do? Andrea Lee says she doesn't want to leapfrog over anybody. So, Valentina, like she said, being near perfect to her, she wants to earn the title shot, right? Lauren Murphy's not in the mix right as of right now. Maya Chagagan are fighting. Andrade maybe could be for Andrea Lee. But who else could she fight? Unless they saving her for a top 5 opponent, then the unthinkable could happen and somebody like Andrea Lee could, Aaron Blanchfield could be the one to say, I'm going to take a ballsy move and take that fight against Grasso. Yeah, she's pretty diesel, man. So she has a manly body. She's big. She's definitely really muscular. I know what you mean. I can tell she's a woman, definitely. But I mean, yeah, she definitely is ripped and pretty big. Sometimes I think she got to drop some of that muscle because it messes with her cardio. So yeah. Okay, so back on track to what I was talking about here with Marina and Joanna. So, yeah, Joanna wants to get this fight with Zhang Wei Li. She wants to get this fight, like she said in her recent interview here. She said, I want to get this fight for number 1. And she said, okay, it's either this fight or anything else, a title fight. So she's really thinking that this fight is going to be the title eliminator. So, like I said, with Dana White saying that if she sits out a little longer, she could get a title shot. Do you think she might slip ahead of Marina Rodriguez? Oh yeah, Mark. I seen it. I looked at it. I mean, yeah, she looks good. She looks good to me. That's why I'm saying, I can tell, to me, she looks like, a woman. I can still tell she's a woman. But yeah, like I said, women of all kinds, there's women of all kinds, different bodies. So, I mean, yeah, she looks fine to me. Definitely in great shape, though. I mean, like I said, if I ever did a top 10 or top 5, just physiques, the women that really take the time out to, just like women bodybuilders, like fitness models, like the women that really, really put work into their body. If I ever did a top 10, I know Tisha would be on there, Arujo would be on there, Holly Holm would be on there. Girls like Jenny Fry would be on there because, you can really see they really strive to build that type of perfect physique. I know that has nothing to do with fighting, but, they're doing double work. They're actually taking the time to build their body like a fitness model, and then they still have to learn how to fight. You know what I mean? They still have to go to training, and they really put in work as far as their diet too. You know what I mean? So if I ever did a top 10 fit WMMA fighters, they would be on that list. So, I mean, should I do that? What do y'all think? Should I do a top fittest list? Maybe I should just do a list, cause sometimes I just say, oh wow, even in boxing, there's a lot of fighters that have that physique. Evander Holyfield was one of them fighters that had a great physique. Who else? Errol Spence of today, he's one of those fighters that has a great shape. Floyd was one. So in WMMA, you see these fighters like Tisha Torres, like I said, she's competing in that, that fitness model thing, because, that's always been her physique. So, yeah, I really wouldn't call her manly. I mean, she's just in great shape. That's just her physique, and that's just her build. I mean, of course, you look at Jillian Robertson, okay, that's her physique, but then you got girls like her, Miranda Maverick, those girls that are packing that muscle. Some of it's just natural. They're born that way. They build muscle quick. Yeah, Felice Herrig is one. Felice Herrig was one. We know it doesn't really translate in the fight to the fight. It doesn't translate to the octagon, but it just shows you what type of shape they're in, what type of work they put in. Yeah, Santos is another one. Manon is too. Manon's in, great shape too. Wei Lee is one. Wei Lee has, pretty good shape though. When it comes to, that muscle physique. Yeah, but okay, so Joanna wants to do this number one fight with Zhang Wei Li because she thinks it's going to get her a title shot. Will it get her a title shot next? I don't know. Will it guarantee her one? I don't know. It looks like it might, but it all comes down to when. But right now, with Marina Rodriguez in line to fight Yan Xiaonan, in a way she is fighting down. She's fighting number 4 when she's number 3. She's kind of in a position where she's just almost waiting herself. Like she's just taking on fights now at this point, waiting on the result of Rose and Carla. So it's kind of a hard situation right now because she's in this number 3 spot. And if Joanna can come back after inactivity and take on the number 1 Zhang Wei Li, that almost kind of guarantees her that shot again, right? But I don't think we really want to see that. A lot of people don't want to see that because Rose has 4 wins between Joanna and Zhang Wei Li. I mean, whether you feel like she won the rematches or not, Zhang Wei Li and Zhang Wei Li and Joanna have lost two fights apiece to Rose already, right? So we do want to see some new blood in there. So if she's thinking that this is going to get her a title shot, I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, Marina might have to, really start to open up here and be vocal. She's going to really have to open up and be vocal because let's look at these rankings. Look, Marina's in a good place at number 3. Carla's number 2. She's getting the shot. Zhang Wei Li already had her 2. But then you got Joanna coming back in the mix, trying to fight the number 1. She's trying to jump over everybody again, including Marina, thinking that's going to be a title eliminator. But I'm like, how? How are we going to do that, man? Like, so she wins this fight, then she's guaranteed a title shot in November or December against Rose. When you got another fighter here like Marina that's solid and never been there before, like this will be a new look for the champion. Let's say she beats Yan Xiaonan, then she's 4-0. So I'm not sure. They might do something like that. The UFC would probably do something like that. Ulysses said do the top 10. Yeah, I might do that. Young Mar said, what do you feel about Carol Rosa? She's a sleeper, in my opinion. If she wins her next fight, she'll be 5-0 in the bantamweight division. Needs that. I like her. I include her in my top list of bantamweights, in the come up. I'd probably say she stands out over, she pretty much stands out over the pack because I was looking at 3 fighters. I was looking at Carol Rosa. I was looking at Macy Chiasson at a point and Julia Avila. Well, Julia Avila's been out with this injury. I don't know what's going to happen with her. Macy, she's kind of falling off with the weight issues. She lost this fight against Rocky. So Carol Rosa, yeah, she's the standout to me on the come up. Where is she ranked right now? Where is she ranked? 13, yeah. Carol Rosa's one to look at. Yeah, I like Carol Rosa. She's hard, man. Like, very strong. Very strong. Physically strong on the ground. She got some powerful leg kicks. If you look at her thighs, she's a very strong stand-up fighter. She can bang, too. She can bang. So, yeah, I like Carol Rosa. Yeah, if Joanna gets this shot, if Joanna gets this rematch with Zhang Weili and she wins, she's going to put herself in a position where she's going to argue with Dana and say, hey, I need a title shot. Like, I just beat the number one. I'm better than Marina, right? So everything Joanna's doing right now is being kind of like business. You know, she's been playing chess, and you can't get mad at her because she's doing things that some of these other fighters need to be doing, right? Whether we feel like she deserves it or not, when it comes down to it, her game of chess is much better than these other fighters, right? It's much better because Joanna, she tried to get a fight with Carla. She knew that's easy work. She already beat Carla before. So she was like, okay, well, I'm going to fight Carla again. And I know I can get past her. Less risk, more reward. And once I beat her, that'll corner Rose to fight me a third time. All the while, she's just, you know, pushing that Marina option to the side. You never hear her call out Marina, right? Because that's a big risk there for her. That's more risk and less reward for her there. So she don't want that fight, right? She don't want that one. Again, she'll take the Zhang Weili fight. She'll take that fight, you know, because she's been there before and she thinks that she won the first fight. So she's looking at rematches. She's looking at rematches that she knows she can win. She doesn't want to take on a newcomer like Marina right now because Marina is a new style to her. She knows that momentum might favor Marina. Marina could beat her. You know, Marina could do it. So it's chess. You know, so she comes back in 2 years. I've been off 2 years. I'm going straight for Zhang Weili, a familiar face. If I beat her, then I can get that next familiar face, Rose Namajunas, in a third fight. And she feels like she could argue that. But I just don't think that's going to work. You know, I think Marina's going to have to say, look, give me that title shot, Dana, or give me the Joanna fight. She might wind up having to fight Joanna in a real title eliminator. Because you can't have both of these fights being title eliminators, you know. That's why I asked that question. Marina versus Yan Zhana should really be a title eliminator. That whoever wins that fight should be the next one. I know if Yan Zhana actually pulled out a win, y'all would say, oh, what? No, she don't deserve it. But I think Marina can win that fight. So if she gets her win over Yan Zhana, then she should get her title shot. But this fight with Joanna and Zhang Weili, it's a good fight, but we already seen that. You know, this will be the fifth fight between the both of them that Rose will have to fight again. You know, I'm like, you know, come on now. Like, Zhang Weili needs to fight down a little bit. Let's see, ALDN. He said, what's happening? What's going on? He said she needs to get back to the line, man. I want to see the newcomers. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's true from that perspective. Yeah, like I said, I know what Joanna's doing. You know, I know what she's doing politically. Like, she's playing chess here. But if you really want to please the fans and keep them happy, you got to go with the new blood like Marina. After Carla Esparza, it needs to be Marina, not the winner of Zhang and Joanna too. I mean, they put on a good fight now. Don't get me wrong. They were a good match. Joanna and Zhang Weili was, you know, that was a damn good fight. You know, but there's other fighters ahead of them that are on the list here, and that'd be Marina. Carla and Marina should be next. Y'all had y'all's chances 4 times between y'all. James G said, I don't see anybody else at the top. Maybe the loser of Rose versus Carla. He said, oh, if Weili wins, I think that she either fights the loser of Marina Yan or the winner of Dern Torres. Yeah, I would like that. If Weili wins, yeah, if she could fight the winner of Dern Torres, that would be a rematch for Torres. I think she either fights the loser of Marina Yan. Yeah. Because I think she should be fighting down anyway. Like, to me, I thought Zhang Weili should have been fighting Yan Zhanan, and Marina Joanna should do that because Marina and Joanna would have been a better fight because that way they could really get that decider, because both of these fighters are really feeling like they deserve title shots. Of course, one's reasons are more logical than the other. Marina definitely deserves, in my opinion. But then you got Joanna coming back and thinking that's all she deserves. So it would have been wise to make them two fight. It would have been wise to make them two fight. I mean, right or wrong. Stray said, if JJ seriously wants Zhang again, she took more damage inside that male than the outside. Yeah, she did, man. She took a lot of damage. Jamin said Marina will be champ. It's inevitable. I think she can, but they're just, trying to prolong it, man. Like, I think Dana really does want it too, but then he continues to cater to Joanna. So when you cater to Joanna, it's like, oh, hey, man, like, you trying to give her a title shot later this year? No, man, come on. Like, you got Marina right here. Make Joanna fight Marina, and that's the best way to single it out. Make Joanna fight Marina in a 5-round fight. Oh, man, that would be killer. What do y'all think? Like, do y'all think? I think they will. I think they'll probably make Zhang Weili and Joanna 2. They'll probably make it a co-main event, so it's a 5-round fight. I think they're going to do that. They might, because the first one was so good, so they might make them fight another 5-round fight. But dang, man, does Joanna does she have another 5-round in her? Does she have another 5 rounds in there with somebody like that? I don't know. Let's see. Liz said Agapova versus Grasso. Nah, they already got that Moreau fight. James G said, did y'all see the raising of the price to $75? I need a stream link if y'all got it. He said they raised the price. He said, y'all got that link? Hey, we'll talk. I can't believe they did that. People out here still ain't working or ain't making enough, and they trying to rob these fans. Okay. LDN said, Dana White, man, please make the correct decision. I know. I mean, like, it kind of, yeah, like I said, I like the Marina Yan fight because it's a stand-up fight, but it kind of sucks that they made that, because now that fight is made, you can't do Marina Joanna. Like, it would have been logical to make Marina Joanna because they are the ones that really are screaming for title shot. They are the ones that really want it right now after Carla. Even though, like I said, Joanna doesn't deserve it. She's won it. She wants it. Zhang Weili's coming off of 2 back-to-back losses to the champion. So, no, she's in no way, shape, or form ready for Rose in a 3rd fight. Like, let's say what happens. What happens if Zhang Weili beats Joanna? All right, what if she beats Joanna? Is that really going to be like, okay, we fight up again? No. Can't do that. Can't fight the champion again. Nobody will want to see that. Not until she goes back and works like Robert Whittaker. What? Robert Whittaker, he got his... How many fights did Robert Whittaker fight? Tell me, y'all. How many fights did he fight before he got this rematch with Israel Adesanya? And y'all know he was a champ. Robert Whittaker was a solid champion, but he had to go back to the drawing board. He had to fight like 4 or 5 fights before he got this rematch with Israel Adesanya. They make these men work. So, to me, like, Zhang Weili going to have to do the same. Let me see. Yeah, Robert Whittaker, after he lost the belt in the 2019, he fought 3 fights. So he did take on some tough fights, Darren Till, Cannonier, and then that Gastelum fight was a good one. So he did right. he put in the work. Yeah, it was about 3. Yeah, I got it. Ravioli said Rob beat all the contenders except Vittori. Yeah, he did. And I think he would have did that too. So I'm just using that as an example that same thing should be done for Zhang Weili. Like Zhang Weili shouldn't be fighting Joanna in hopes to get a title shot. Dontel Jones said Taylor Santos and Marina Rodriguez will be the new champs at the end of this year. Ooh, Taylor, I don't know. That's going to be a tough task. I think Marina has the ability to do it. Dontel said, I wonder, has Joanna been training all this time? Yeah, she's been training, but I don't know if she's been like training. Like she's been doing like workout vids and stuff like that, drills, but she hasn't. I don't know if she's like in training camp. Like nothing's been announced as far as a fight. So Straya said, make JJ fight Lemos next. I wouldn't do that yet for Lemos' sake. Like I think Lemos needs another fight or two before she fights Joanna, really. I don't think that fight with I know styles make fights, but the fight with Angela Hill doesn't really garner like a former world champion like that for me. Let's see. Jama said Dana always says how he hates CAA agency, but Joanna Shevchenko is managed by them too, and he doesn't have problems with them. No, he always says his relationship is good with Joanna. Like he's like, she hasn't fought in over a year, but he was like, okay, almost 2 years, but the title shot, it doesn't work that way. You don't get it right away. But now in one breath, he's saying that if she waits, she can get it. If she waits another 9 months, she can get it. Stray said, y'all forget it's JJ's last contract fight. If she loses, she'll get a new contract or retire. Oh, yeah, no. I already know it's her last contract. I know this is her last fight. But the thing is, once this fight gets signed, the majority of the time, they start negotiating a new contract, either for 3 or 4 fights. So I think once this Zhang Weili fight gets signed, she'll probably already go in for a renewal. I think that's how Manon said she did when she did her last fight. Well, yeah, when they signed for the Jessica I fight, they already renewed for a 4th fight. So the same thing might happen here when she signs on for Zhang Weili. Boom, she might sign him for another fight. But yeah, I know what you mean though. She'll either retire if she loses or sign a new one. So I don't know. I think if she lost bad, she might retire. Listen to BJ talking this trash. So he said Joanna still Joanna. He said Joanna just a bum all of a sudden. Who said Joanna a bum? Hold on. Mark said, y'all like Joanna, but she kind of holding up the division. There's not many elite strawweights to go around. Her activity is needed. Right. BJ, I don't see anybody calling her a bum in the chat. I mean, we just saying that she need to be fighting. He said, let's not forget who she is. I think that she forgets what she needs to be doing. Like, nobody forgot what she's done. But she needs to remember what she needs to be doing. Right? She needs to look at Robert Whittaker and see what he's doing, right? Like, what's Robert Whittaker doing right now? Huh? What did Robert Whittaker do to get that title shot? What did he do to get that title shot? Lost his belt, had to go back to the drawing board, right? Had to go back and get that work in. So Joanna's Joanna like one of the best to ever do it, but the resume as of lately ain't saying elite, right? Like in no way, shape, form, or fashion is Joanna a bum. No freaking way. She's one of my favorite fighters to watch, but when it comes down to it, is she the same fighter? No. That's what I'm saying, BJ. No, she ain't the same fighter. Like, we don't forget who she was, but we know who she's not. We know who she's not anymore. Yeah. We know who she's not. I know she's a 2-4 former champion right now that hasn't held the belt in going on 5 years. And at 2-4, that doesn't sound like somebody that is elite anymore. I mean, was, yeah, but definitely not the fighter she was. I think she could beat a lot of these girls still, but when it comes down to who the champion is now, that champion has her number. I mean, I think that eventually Joanna could win a fight against Rose, but not very many. Not very many. Young Mar said, I want to see Andrade back at 115 almost because she could be champ there on a good night, not at 125. Right. Yeah, her chances are not good at flyweight to be champion. She could definitely be champion at strawweight again. Ulysses said, I want to see Joanna fight in the Apex in that tiny octagon. Oh, man, that would be crazy. Now, she fighting a grappler in the tiny octagon. That would be crazy. She's one that needs space. Stray said JJ ain't no bum, but she's past her prime. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But still, BJ, you said Robert was grinding. I see what you mean, but he wasn't as dominant as Joanna. Didn't carry a division on his shoulders. Right. Yeah, in the very beginning she did, but the division evolved since then. And I mean, he didn't carry a division. He wasn't as dominant, but he hasn't lost in the fashion that she has either. Like, he just lost one time. Whereas Joanna had 3 title opportunities and lost all 3 of them, right? So you got to factor that in. Robert lost the title in that one fight, but Joanna had 3 chances. She's 2-4 in the last 6 fights. You know, lost that flyweight title challenge. Lost to Rose to try to get the belt back. Lost to Zhang Weili to try to get the belt back. Lost the belt to Rose, right? So, yeah, he may not have been as dominant, guys, but Joanna has definitely fell from grace over the past 5 years and still hasn't bounced back the way he has. BJ said if they make it Holloway Volkanovski 3, they will make Rose Joanna 3. I don't know about that. Not when you have better choices. Like, you have better choices out there. You know, with Holloway Volkanovski, you could argue that Holloway did win that second fight. With Rose and Joanna, I think it was pretty much open and shut. Like, Rose had some rough rounds in that second fight, but to me, Rose just solidified both fights, and you can't skip to that fight without and just ignore Marina. Marcus Bell, what's going on? Yeah, Marcus, you done missed the Marcus, I already talked about the top 5 bantamweights that you wanted me to talk about. You gonna have to scroll back and listen to it. You got to scroll back and listen to it, man. BJ said, but Joanna's only fighting the best of the best in those losses. It's not like she lost to Tisha. Right, but there comes a point when you keep fighting the best fighters and you lose to the best fighters that many times, that might mean you need to change something up, right? If you lost to Rose twice, you lost to Zhang Weili, then you lost to Valentina, right? That's probably telling you that you probably need to go back and work on a few things to evolve in the game. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like you can step it up in every fight, but if you continue to lose every single championship fight, an elite fight, that means you just are not on it like you need to be, or the game is passing you by. the game is passing you by. Like I said at the beginning, like 2014, 2015, vintage Joanna, nobody's ever really dealt with a style like that. But as soon as Rose came with the slick footwork and the timing, she put it on her, Then you had Zhang Weili coming with the, in and out pressure style. It was evolving. So she was dealing with a lot there. Then you have Valentina. Valentina already got her number in Muay Thai. There was a lot that needed to be worked on there. So that's just my point. It's like, okay, you can beat elite fights, but if you're on the losing end that many times, that means you got to go back and renew your elite status. If you just said we're talking about elite fighters here, somebody has to lose. Yeah, somebody has to lose, but if you're always the one losing, yeah, I mean, that means you might not be elite. Because, yeah, she beat Tisha and Michelle Waterson, but, you're still losing the elite fighters. Stray said, any news on Andrade dropping back down to 115, maybe JJ versus Andrade because Zhang not coming back until June or July. Yeah, Zhang Weili said she wasn't coming back until June or July. Yeah, I talked about that. And I think that they might, but that was whenever she thought she could come back against Carla. So they might move it up. They might move it a month or two up to April or May, especially if it's going to be Joanna. They might get her into that position to take that fight. So now that it's not like a fight with Carla, they might change the situation is what I think. Because right now, Andrade is not moving down to 115 because she wants that third fight. If anything, now I would give Andrade a pass. Like if Andrade came down, she could go straight for a title shot, in my opinion, because she did leave off nicely with a split decision loss to Rose that people could argue she won. So I would kind of give her a pass. That's just me, in my opinion. Like if Andrade came right back down to 115, since she was so dominant and was finishing everybody, I think I would give her a pass to fight there because she been up there. And she always, she always shows the guts to fight anybody. No real diva mentality with Andrade. It's like, I'm always ready to go. BJ said, look at Joanna's second loss to Rose and her loss to Zhang. Close and arguable. Yeah, they were close, but the adjustments weren't made to win. That's my point. Like, she still couldn't go in there and fully capitalize on what it was that was the weakness in Zhang. Jean said, I tend to ignore that Valentina lost completely or even count that as a win since she won the whole round. Angela Hill has the same argument. I know what that is. Stray said JJ needs to pull her head in and earn another shot. Yeah. BJ said no, Joanna will definitely be champion again. My opinion. Can she be champion again? Can she be champion again? It's really hard to say she could be champion again. I'm thinking. I don't know. What do y'all think? Could she be champion? Robot Chicken said Bellator maybe. Could she be champion again? Anything is possible because, like I said, I think Joanna could still, if her and Rose fought 5-6 times, she might win 2 of those fights just because Rose might be losing focus in those fights. Sometime at some point she does, right? Like she did in the second fight. Yeah, BJ, I'm not arguing that she didn't have a good close fight, but she still lost. But she still came out the winner. But there's a chance that she could, but I don't even know if she can handle Marina right now. She doesn't even seem like she wants that fight. you know, got some of the greatest takedown defense in the game. Mark Robinson said, I agree with BJ on this one. JJ has the toughest strength of schedule in WMMA history. We have to acknowledge that. How have we not acknowledged that? Like, when did we not acknowledge that? Like, what do you mean by the toughest strength of schedule in WMMA? You mean just resume? Because, I mean, if you say we don't acknowledge that, I mean, when have we not acknowledged that? We always acknowledge that. But we're talking about now, right? We're talking about now. Like, are you saying that she could be champion? Are you agreeing with that? Or are you just saying that she deserves a title shot? Because I'm still not, no, I don't agree with that, BJ. He said, Young Mar said, it's definitely possible she could be competitive with everybody in her weight. 2-2 going into 5 and every loss at 115. Yeah, she could be competitive. But in order to do that, you have to fight, right? Like, I can't say that she's going to be competitive or be champion like Robert Whittaker has the ability to right now because it's been 2 years. And if she just continues to try to fight title fight after title fight after title fight, she's not gonna get it. Eventually you might get one, but then you'll lose it again because you're still not fully evolving. I mean, whether the fights are close or not, the record still speaks for itself. Like, you're still coming up short. Yeah, TJ. That's what I was wondering. Like, what do you mean by toughest strength of schedule? Like, what do you mean? Like, do you mean just the resume, Mark? Do you mean just her resume is the toughest? I mean, there's a lot of girls here with tough resumes, but the thing is, she's been taking a long break here, and she's, like I said, she's still 2-4. Yeah, she can beat those lower level fighters like Torres and Waterson, like she did, but can she do that to Marina, though? And is it really worth watching to see if she could do that against Rose in the third fight when Rose is wrestling and her strength is getting better? I know TJ might not believe that either, but you gotta admit, a third fight with Rose, with what Rose is being able to do, she's seen this already 2 times in a row. Come on. Okay, Mark said, I mean, JJ's lost to only champions. There's no shame in losing to Val, Rose, or Whaley. In comparison, Rose has lost to Carla, Andrade, Tisha, and KK. Right, yeah, there's no shame in that. No, there's not at all. But the thing is, if you're losing to only champions and you're losing every single time 4 title fights, then that's saying that you might have to take a step back and find out what it is that your style is not built for, right? That means you're not evolving with the game. If you lost 4 to 4 champions, you still have to take a step back. Like, yeah, Rose lost to these fighters, but let's put her to the side. Let's focus on Joanna. Joanna, like, why are you losing to these fighters? Why are you still coming up short? Well, there's some things you need to evolve with. Yeah, Rose lost to Carla 7 years ago, right? But she's evolved since then. She's beat Joanna. She's one of those fighters that beat her. And then you got Andrade. Okay, Andrade did what she had to do that first fight. But whether you feel like she won or lost, Rose beat Andrade that second time. Now, I still think Tisha Torres beat Rose those 2 times, but it's all about position right now. Yeah, she lost to Carolina, but it's all about position right now. It's all about the position they're in and the evolution they've shown now. Like, will Rose lose to those fighters now? Probably not. Probably not. Because you got to remember, she was still a very young fighter whenever she fought Carla Esparza. She ain't the same fighter. You know, Joanna's been staying the same fighter for the past few years. You know what I mean? That's why she's been coming up short. You know, and yeah, she's great takedown defense, great striker, and she's very strong. But still, you know, these other fighters that can figure that style out, they're going to continue to beat her, especially if they're elite or championship level. BJ said, Latorno, Panay, Carolina, Andrade, those aren't bums. No, they're not bums, but they are part of that. They're part of that time when the game hasn't evolved, right? The game was still, the 2015, 2016 era of WMMA was in a different place than it is now, right? Let's be real about it. Like, you get credit for that back then, but what you're doing now is a big, big part of who you are as a fighter as of today, right? So we're not knocking, okay, yeah, she lost to these fighters. You get credit for, yeah, you're taking on the best, but you still lost to them. That's what I'm saying. You're still in a position to have to show us that, okay, we are changing. You know, we are evolving with the game. But if you're not doing that, you're going to continue to lose the elite fighters. So you don't deserve to fight championship after championship after championship after championship, right? You know, that's just my point with that, though. BJ said Joanna trains hard. If she's saying she's ready, and we know she's going to bring it. She'll bring it. She'll definitely bring it, and she'll be as ready as she can be, right? But you still got to factor in that she doesn't deserve a title shot yet. She doesn't need to. My whole point is you don't jump ahead of Marina right now after Marina's already put in the work. Marina's 3-0, and in some eyes, she's about to be 4-0. So she's good to go. You can't jump ahead just off of history. Mark Roberts says, I guess what I'm saying is that to me, Joanna's losses don't really drop her status that much to me. That's what I mean by strength of schedule. How much does a fighter's stock drop when they lose? Well, if they continue to lose championship fights, it's going to drop to a certain extent. Like, what type of fashion they lose in is a big part of it. And how many times they lose is how much the stock drops, in my opinion, Mark. Like, if you continue to lose to every champion that you face in this amount of time, then, yeah, your stock is going to drop. Other fighters deserve to get ahead of you. And that's my point. Like, you're still living off the past, but Marina's over here doing her thing. So your stock is going to drop past Marina as of now. Like, Marina's the next title challenger to me. That's what it comes down to. You can't just say, oh, that's Joanna. She defended her belt 5 times back in 2015. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. You have to say, what has she done now? You have to say, what has she done now? Because Marina is doing it now. She's doing all the right things that she needs to do to go up the rankings. And your stock does drop after being out for 2 years, right? Your stock does drop after being off for 2 years. Like, let's be real now. Like, it's like a business that needs to keep up at certain inspections. You know, you have to renew it every year. Show us that your establishment is still up to par. You know, show that your establishment is still up to par. Or it's like, you know, getting your car inspection every year. You know, show us that everything is still in working order. You know, pass that inspection. Right? Pass that inspection and show us that your game. Renew that status every year. Now, granted, again, Joanna might have taken some damage, but in the meantime, when 2 years passes by and a fighter like Carla goes on a 5-fight win streak and Marina goes on a 3-fight win streak, they've gone to a point where their stock right now is higher than hers, right? Because they've done what they needed to do. Right? Mark said, yeah, her stock definitely dropped 100%. I'm just saying, if you lose to Valentina, if it's competitive, hell, your stock basically shouldn't drop at all. Val is the GOAT. Well, yeah, but not every fighter should go in with that mentality to me. Like, there's no moral victories. Just to say you fought Valentina and you go in and say, oh, yeah, I put up a good fight, that should count for something. There's no moral victory in the fight game to me. But I see where you're coming from, though, like, because she did go 5 rounds. So, yeah, she made it competitive. But the thing is, I will still kind of take away from it because it's saying that she's never, or I won't say never, but you never say never, right? But she's still not on that GOAT level like a Nunes and a Valentina. She's still on that level below them, right? V. Kendra says she picked JJ to beat Carla and Yon. Yeah, I think she definitely beat Carla again. Probably Yon too, but what about Marina? She's not beating Marina, I don't think. I mean, Marina, I say he's 50-50. Well, I still think Marina's style has a big chance of, upsetting Joanna. V. Kendra said, and Joanna called out Weili. Why are we talking about Marina? We're talking about Marina because she's the one that deserves the title shot next. V. Kendra, you got to keep up. We talking about her because she might be cutting in front of her, right? And Joanna is not the one that deserves the title shot, whether she wins against Weili anyway, right? Marina is 3-0. That's why we talking about her, because she's the one ahead of her. And she deserves the shot. And the question is, can Joanna get past Marina here and get the title shot first? That's what we talking about here. Yomar said Kendra Weili doesn't even have 1 mil yet. Joanna's a bigger star for sure, and I like Weili. Yeah, she's definitely a bigger star, but even, like bigger star definitely overseas in her country she is, but I still don't even think she brings in big numbers, right? Like as far as here. Wait a minute now. Thing is, Zhang Weili has, when she goes to China, though, she'll bring in big numbers over there. So is her numbers in China bigger than Joanna's numbers here? That's a good question. Weili's numbers overseas, though. Weili's numbers overseas in China are bigger than Joanna's numbers here in the U.S. Because people don't, like I said, people still don't know Joanna's full name, but a lot of people in China, ask them on the street, they know who Zhang Weili is. I mean, how many people in China, huh? I think China, because China has their own social media. Yeah, China is, why do you think Dana White's really tapping into this market? Because we're not even going to look at IG. Let's not even look at IG. Zhang Weili is a superstar over there. She's got commercials over there. She's got ads over there. How many commercials do you see over here with Joanna? Like, Joanna does a lot of magazine spreads. Right? But you don't really see her on between commercials of ESPN, right? Like, you don't see her in ads like that. But when you look at Zhang Weili over there, she's a star. So Zhang Weili's numbers over there are bigger than Joanna's numbers in the U.S. Now, she has big numbers in her country of Poland, right? But in the U.S., no. I think her numbers are way bigger here. I mean, in China, so that's why Dana's trying to tap into that market so bad. Yeah, like I said, Poland, BJ. Yeah, Poland. Her fan base is in Poland. But which is bigger here, like China or Poland? Who's the bigger star? Like, if y'all talking about stars here, like, Yeah, Robot Chicken said she's like Bruce Lee over there. Yeah, she's like really, really well known there. Again, why do you think Dana's like, why do you think he put that title shot, that rematch in ASAP for Rose right away? Because he wanted to capitalize on that market. You know, why do you think they were pushed? Why do you think they pushed her to the title shot faster? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she fought some good fights and earned it, you know, and she was the one to answer. But at the same time, he was like, this is perfect timing. Let's get Zhang Weili in here. Yomar said Joanna's globally bigger, but Weili might have a bigger core fan base. I don't even know if I can say she's globally bigger. Like at this point, I don't know if I can say she's globally bigger. I think Zhang Weili is still bigger. Like I know she has a big core fan base, but she also has the global part too. You know what I mean? Like you go overseas, they know her. They know her over there. I'm sure even like in the other countries in Asia, they know her, Japan and so on. Like they get behind their stars there. Like Poland, yeah, okay, she has that Poland fan base, but they're not as big as China. Jama said MMA isn't popular in China. Even figure skating is bigger in China. That's why when a star comes along, they put so much behind it, especially in MMA, right? MMA ain't that popping, but they have a star that they're getting behind. But BJ, I know you love Joanna, but let's be honest here. You know, she got a big following in China. Let's be real. It's not the fact that it's MMA, right? It's the fact that it's a star. It's a star that's never done something before, right? She's never done this before, so she is our poster girl for the world of MMA. She's our first, right? It's just like when you come out of the state of like, let's say you're the first fighter that came out of Alaska. You know, everybody's going to get behind you. I know that's a bad example because it's a small state, but I'm just saying like everybody's going to be behind the very first champion, right? Yeah, MMA is huge in Europe, but still, like, who is the big star here? Who is the big star? yeah. TJ said next will be claiming Casey O'Neill will sell pay-per-views on an Australian card. Right. Yeah, right. You know that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, every time there's a first in the country, that person's going to get the push. And that's my point. Like, let's be real. Weili, whether you feel like MMA is not huge there, which I think it is, I'm going to leave that argument alone. But Weili alone has a big fan base. Yeah, I mean, we could go into that one day too. Yeah, MMA, you know where it came from. I mean, everything Bruce Lee was putting together was trying to be for, you know, mixed martial arts, you know, everything, putting everything together, right? Right, TJ. That's my point. You know, it don't matter where it started, but it's where the money's being made. That's what we talking about. Like, Zhang Weili, there's more money that can be made in Zhang Weili right now than there is Joanna, right? There's more money that can be made out of Zhang Weili right now than there is Joanna because of that big fan base. It's big. It's big. I mean, if it was always there for Joanna, who's been here for what, 7 years in the game now, you know, she should be top in the market. Like, she should be bigger than Ronda Rousey, right? No, TJ talking about my example. He was talking about my example I was making. Like if a fighter comes out of like, if you're the first fighter out of some place that's not really known for fighting, or if you're just the first out of there, you're gonna be like that poster girl or poster boy for it, right? Yeah, her social media may be way bigger, but it's still that China social media, you know? Like Instagram can only tell you so much. Twitter can only tell you so much. You know, it's all about who's paying to see you. It's like Ryan Garcia, man. Like Ryan Garcia got a big following on IG, but how many of those people are actually paying for their fights though? Huh? Like Ryan Garcia may have like 1 million followers in boxing. Okay? He's got 1 million followers in boxing, right? But are they like the consumers, or are they just the followers? Like followers follow because it's free, but who's out there that's willing to really pay and support? Right? Who's out there that's really paying to support? Yeah, TJ was just using TJ was talking about my example. I mentioned like a fighter coming out of Alaska, for example. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was just making an example. Like if somebody's the first to come out of somewhere, that's all. Mark Roberts says, I'm throwing JJ love, but make no mistake, I think she should have agreed to fight Marina. And because she didn't, I do think Marina should get the shot before, based on the situation right now. That's all I'm saying. Like, believe me, like everything you mentioned before that, like I believe she has a strong resume and I give her credit for the toughness that she's shown. But yeah, my point now is to talk about the now. Like, my point is to say, like, you can't jump ahead of Marina because Marina is on a nice little win streak and she's been working, right? That's all I was making. But like, yeah, I'm not, when I say this stuff, I am no way bashing Joanna's accomplishments. I'm just telling the actual facts off. I see a resume. Okay. 2-4. Okay. Well, been out for 2 years. All right. Well, that math doesn't add up. So I'm looking at Marina as that next one. Whether or not Joanna wins a fight with Zhang Weili. Song Yadong. Yeah, they're pushing him next. He's another one. Uh-oh, here we go. Y'all on that Roxy Casey. Uh-oh. I don't know how that's going to happen, though. Brian Williams said, you know what everybody knows about Joanna right now? That she lost 4 of her last fights. That's all I'm saying. TJ said, gotta run. All right. He said, all right. TJ said, gotta run. Be easy, folks. Hashtag Casey derailed. There you go. He said, hashtag Casey derailed. Dang. Yomar said, you're pretty much explaining what I'm saying. Weili's core fan base is bigger. They pay for more pay-per-view and crowds are electric. JJ gets the social media likes. Great example. Exactly like Tank. Yeah, so my thing is, it's not just about, okay, being known. To me, the more popular person in MMA is making the money. That's how I'm looking at it, right? The ones that are really supporting you. I'm not just going by 1 million on Instagram. I'm talking about the millions you have that are putting money into you, right? Because, yeah, Instagram will get you a certain level. Like, it's definitely going to get you sponsors and certain things when you really start bringing in, that many followers. But why do you think Dana White is so hardcore on pushing this market right now? Because she's got the bigger brand right now. Not just followers. She's got the bigger brand overall. I think Zhang Weili is more well known in that. Cause you can talk work, like I said, even in the workplace, some people still don't know who Joanna is. The casual fans still don't know some areas that Zhang Weili is, but I think people are really starting to get to know Zhang a little bit more, especially at this point right now. Now, when you talk better businesswoman as far as outside things, outside of fighting, okay, yeah, Joanna's doing that. But I guess, we're kind of breaking off here. I see where you're coming from, though, young Mar. Like, if you just looking at fame, but I'm just kind of looking at the money part right now. Australia said Edgar versus Jesse. Jess, who you got? Ooh, let me see. I got Jessica Rose Clark for right now, Australia. I think I got Jessica Rose Clark. I don't think it's gonna be like a groundbreaking fight. Yeah, but yeah, if we look at it like that, young Mar, if we look at just like the fame, yeah, I could see that. But I'm looking at just like, I guess I'm looking at the money part and the fame part for just MMA. But yeah, if you want to talk worldwide, you could probably argue that Joanna is that one. Yeah, I can see that. I know where you're coming from now. I'm just trying to, I was just trying to separate the fight part. But yeah, I see where you're coming from. Like, you mean like she's magazine friendly and, fan friendly outside of the game. Like, yeah. Let me see here. Marcus Bell says Stephanie Edgar was able to knock down Gabby Garcia in BJJ tournament. Well, I got Jesse Jess. He crazy. He said he still got Jesse Jess. Yeah, I'll tell you this too. Yeah, because the longevity. Yeah. Because you make a good point, because out of the octagon, I think we know who's set up better. Joanna is set up better right now. Like, we know for sure that Joanna has something going on. She does have something going on outside of the fight part, for sure. She has a brand already built. That's why I don't know why she just don't lead a game, I think she's done. BJ said you better be hoping Jessica I don't show up like she did against Arujo. How crazy would it be to see Jessica I beat Manon? No, we talking about Roxy beating Casey, though. I think that's more likely. At this point, we know that's more likely. Well, if it happened, BJ, you have Manon on your triple threat as well. So, but I don't see that happen because Manon is well rounded. I think she's well rounded. She got the power in the ground game and the stand up to handle this thing. So just got to be ready. Just got to be ready for it. Casey O'Neill got a big task, though. Casey O'Neill got the big task ahead of her. Right? All right, y'all. So, yeah, good conversations tonight. Good stuff we talked about. Let's see here. What else we got? I don't think I have too much more. Dang, it's already like 2.5 hours. I gotta eat something, BJ. I might not be doing the open link now. I'm hungry. Oh man. Let's see. BJ said Roxy ain't beating Casey O'Neill. I don't care what anybody says. Well, if you feel like Jessica I could beat Manon, then you know that Roxy has a big chance of beating Casey O'Neill too, then, right? I gotta make my song your dong joke. Song your dong joke. Let's see. He's known for his long record. I don't know. He's known for having a long record. Go though. Yeah. Stray said Jessie Jess is a mystery, but she beat the snot out of Alpar. Alpar took Blanchfield to decision, so who knows? Yeah, that's one of them fights. It's really hard to say, but I am leaning toward Jessie Jess right now. BJ, yeah, he think Casey gonna win 100%. You know that ain't no 100%. You know if I is not 100%, if you don't feel 100% about Manon beating I, then you know Casey is not 100% on beating Roxy yet. Oliveira has that Roxanne vision. It works. Yeah, right, Marcus. But yeah, yo, good show, good talk. We about to wrap this thing up. Yeah, first UFC card is next weekend. I'm still, oh my goodness, I just thought of it, man. I'm pissed again, man. Well, V. Kendra, you just came in, so I don't even know if you know V. Kendra, but Viviana Araujo versus Alexa Grasso was canceled. I don't know if you heard that, or if you were looking forward to that fight. Araujo versus Grasso is canceled now. Araujo had to pull out due to injury. So, you know, yeah, I'm mad. He said Casey might get TKO by Chikagan. Yeah. Chikagan is and Chikagan ain't got no stoppages, but she'd have a high chance to do that, right? Yeah, it's canceled. That was the one fight I wanted to really see this month. Canceled. Damn, I wanted to see that fight. My bad, I was reading something. V. Kendra said Andrade versus Grasso. Let's go. Ooh. Uh-oh. You know, I didn't think of that. I ain't really think of that. Andrade is free, and she's going to stay at 125 at the moment. Murphy ain't going to fight none soon. So, Andrade. I still say Andrea Lee, though. Andrea Lee or Andrade is not a bad idea. Jamin said I would count Roxy as a solid underdog, but it has too much red flags. Retirement, recent boyfriend. Yeah, she might be in that mind state where it's like, I just want to put up one more good fight. But I can't count her out, though. You know. Brian Williams said Vivi got injured soaring. Well, yeah, no. Brian is getting them jokes in. Stray said, gotta go, guys. Catch y'all later. All right, man. Catch you later. Keep waving them Casey pom-poms, BJ. Keep waving them pom-poms, BJ. Oh, okay. He said Vivi got injured sparring with you, though. Okay. I think Andrade might really hurt Grasso. Mark Robinson said. Yeah, I think so too. But it would have to, it has to happen. Something's got to happen. If you're in this division, it's got to happen. Just like when she fought Tatiana Suarez. Like, we knew what would happen with Tatiana get hands on her, but it's got to happen. You want to be in this game called MMA, you got to show us something. Right? I mean, there might be Andrade versus Calvillo all over again. But I think Grasso versus Lee would be the better matchup. really like to see what Grasso's box skill would do against the kickboxing of Andrea Lee, and who's stronger on the inside. Right? Who would be stronger on the inside? Who's stronger on the inside? What do y'all think? What about you, Mark? What do you think? Who's stronger on the inside? Who's physically stronger, period? Andrea Lee or Alexa Grasso? I'm going to go with, I think Andrea Lee may be a little bit more physically stronger, I think. I think this weight fits her more. When it comes to pop, I think they both have about the same amount of power, though. Maybe giving Andrea a little bit of the edge just because she's a little bit bigger. But the commitment to the technique, I think, would be Grasso's thing. I think better gas tank is Grasso, too. I think better gas tank is Grasso, though. But Andrea Lee, definitely underrated when she gets to the ground. Definitely underrated there. But I like Grasso's punch selection better. You don't hear her shots coming. Yeah, he said, I think Andrea Lee is stronger. Yeah, I think Andrea Lee is stronger. IQ, might have to give Grasso the edge there because, like I said, I think Andrea Lee failed a lot because of not using her IQ. She's got a lot of good tools, but she's came up short in fights because of her IQ. Who has a better chance against Andrade? I would probably say Andrea Lee. I think Andrea Lee would have a better chance. Just because, like, when you look at that physical fight with Grasso and Tatiana Suarez, that was at strawweight. She got damaged in that fight. Well, not damaged, but she got beat up. I think Andrea Lee still has a good size advantage there, and like length. And, just bigger. Brian said he has Lee, winning that fight. Or she would fare better against Andrade. Mark said I have to think about that fight a bit. Yeah, I do think Grasso does have the better technique and gas tank. He said I think Grasso is better in the clinch. Grasso's better in the clinch? I don't know about that. He said Lee is vicious in the clinch. They both have trouble committing, though. That's why it'd be like a cautious first round. They both would be kind of dancing a little bit until somebody finally lets go at like the end of the first round, like the last minutes. Right. But yeah, man, it's time to get up and get out. I gotta eat. I've been on here about 2:37 now. So yeah, y'all, shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all crazy, talking to crazy. Crazy. Y'all got them jokes, but it's all good. Yeah, I'm about to get up out, and yeah, Arujo Grasso, man, still mad, still pissed. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Like always, make sure y'all hit that like button on your way out and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Oh boy, Ulysses got news. Before we go, we're going to wait on the news from Ulysses, okay? We're not going anywhere yet. What do you have, Ulysses? What news do you have for us? No, V. Kendra, don't go anywhere yet. We got some news here. What do you have for us, Ulysses? He said news. What do you got? I'm not going yet until you give me the news. What's the news you got? I'm not leaving yet till we see. Oh boy, we got JJ Aldridge versus Ariane Lipsky. Uh-oh. Somebody say what your dong do, what that dong do. What your dong do. Oh boy. Y'all better stop it. What your dong do. Ulysses said Aldridge versus Lipsky. Uh-oh. I'll take that. JJ Aldridge versus Ariane Lipsky. Oh, man, that's going to be a good striking match. Shout out to Ulysses. That's an interesting fight. Yeah. You got the technical striker versus another technical striker with power. Ooh, that's going to be interesting, man. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that fight. Not now, but later. But, yeah. Doesn't make up for the bad news you gave us earlier, but, you know, it's something. It's something, right? We'll take it. We'll take it. All right, y'all. So hit that like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe if you haven't. It's time to go. I will catch y'all in a live, maybe Sunday, but more than likely Monday. Like always, Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe. Peace.